Now we're going to make 2 breads out of this. So what I want to do is divide this up into a number of pieces. Now the breads that we're going to make are going to be breads that are made each with 6 strands. And I'm going to divide this up into 12 strands. Let's see, that's 2. Now these I can see are not exactly equal in size, so take some of the bigger ones and break off a little piece. Now I'm going to roll them up into little balls. This one I feel is a little bigger, so we'll take a little hunk off of it. This is a small one too. Okay, we have 12 little balls. I'm going to put a little oil on these things. It makes them a little easier to roll. It's difficult to roll these out with flour. It's easier to roll them out when they're a little bit sticky. And why don't we just let these sit here for a moment or two so they lose a little of their elasticity, and it'll be a little easier to roll them out. Why don't we just wait a little bit? I'm going to throw a little flour over here to roll these strips in after they're rolled. It is important that each segment of the challah be completely covered with flour. Otherwise, when they bake, the braids will run together and they will not be as distinct as if they're covered with flour. Just takes a second or two. Now you can braid them in one of many different ways. As I say, we're going to use 6, but you can braid 3s or 4s or 5s, and it's relatively simple. Now here's the way we're going to braid this one. First thing we're going to do is divide the 6 strands into 3 on one side and 3 on the other, and then we're going to take the 2 outer ones and stretch it to the side. Now, the sequence is as follows. You have 2 strands up top and 2 pairs at the bottom here. You take the upper one and bring it down to the other side, and then you replace it with the outer one from that side. Now this one is the upper one. You bring it down to the opposite side and replace it with the outer one from that side. And this sequence is just continued, one up and one down, always having 2 pairs here and 2 up. It's brought down and it's replaced like so. Down, replaced, down, replaced, down, replaced, and that's all there is to it. You just bring it together, and when you get down this far, you pinch it, and that's one bread. And we'll do the same thing to the other one. Pinch them together, divide them in half, put one up from one side and one to the other. Now down and back, down to the other side and back. Upper one comes down to the other side and you replace it. Down and back, down and back, down and back. And we now have 2 breads. And we just put them on a pan. I like to use pans that are covered with parchment merely because it prevents the pan from getting so dirty. It makes cleanup much easier, and they don't stick to parchment. And now we'll just put this in the oven, in our warming oven, and allow it to rise prior to baking.
The following egg wash is made up of 1 beaten egg.
You have to be careful when you do this that you don't pound the dough, otherwise it'll fall down again. So you have to just do it very gently, but you want to cover it completely and carefully. This causes it to have that nice brown, shiny exterior.
Allow the challahs to dry for 5 minutes, then apply a second egg wash.
Take some poppy seeds and put them on top. And take some sesame seeds and put those on top. Of course, the challah has to be wet in order for these seeds to stick. Of course, it's very wet now. And now we're all set to put them in the oven. And we bake it at 375. It will take approximately a half hour. And that's all there is to it. I do believe they're done. Let's check the bottom, nice and brown, not too well done. They look just right. So we'll take them out, and all we have to do now is eat them.